Hello folks, this is Aaron Crawford coming at you once again with another Making People Aware. Today I want to talk to you guys something a little personal to me. I apologize for not placing the video up sooner, but I kind of wanted to get myself, as you can see, in shape and back to the way I should have been several months ago. But that being said, today I want to kind of talk to you guys about abuse and hopefully make you guys aware of the signs and everything like that. So without further ado, let's make some people aware. So abuse, God, where to begin with this one? There are several signs of abuse, and there are three different types. You have verbal, which is where somebody constantly puts you down. They belittle you until you no longer want to live. They crush your dreams, ladies and gentlemen, and that's the number one thing I want to tell you guys is never let anyone ever crush your dreams. Whether you're 16 or whether you're 35, hold on to those dreams, because you never know that one day they may come true, and there is no reason why anyone should put you down to a point where they crush your dreams. The second type, and this is the biggest type of abuse, which is physical abuse. This is where people will put their hands on you and they will endeavor to guilt damage. Now, mind you, there is a fine line between this and the BDSM world, but that's a whole nother story. If you guys are okay with the pain and the abuse, then that's all on you. It's if it's something that's a part of your lifestyle, then good for you. But don't go crying wolf when things get bad. And then finally, there's emotional abuse. And emotional abuse is where somebody will constantly play with your emotions till you are no longer able to tell what is truth and what is lies. I have been privy to all three of these types of abuses, and it's not easy. It's not something you come back from very easily. You have to work so hard to get to a place, and I apologize if I start crying again. Like I said, this is very personal to me. Yeah, you have to work so hard to come back from it. I know I've said this several times, folks, but if you see any of the signs of abuse on anyone, please don't stop to hesitate and talk to them and hopefully make a friend. I'm not trying to change who you are. I'm not trying to make you a good person. I want to make you aware of what is out there in the world. Because unfortunately, I've had the misfortune to deal with almost everything I talk about.
How are you?
But that being said, some of the signs you can look for, first off, if it's physical abuse, obviously the signs are very visual. Black eyes, scratches, bruises, all of that. Don't ask how somebody got those, because 9 times out of 10 they're going to give you some ridiculous story about how they fell down the stairs or off their bike or they fell and hit their head on a counter. Let them talk about it. Let them bring it up. The best you can do is just be there and be a friend. Get the conversation rolling, and then when they're ready to open up to you, they will. But until that time, make sure. Now, if you can tell that the abuse has gone so far as to it could cost them their lives, then yes, absolutely bring it up and make sure that you can help and get them safe. But unless that abuse has gone to a point where it's not going to cost them their lives, let them bring it up. Because for all you know, it could have been something in their past that they're not ready to talk about with anybody. It's taken me so many years to even get to this point, to be able to talk to complete strangers about this. It is not easy to talk about in the slightest, because you constantly have to put up with it. That being said, With verbal and emotional abuse, the biggest signs is when somebody is sitting by themselves. They're loners. They're constantly crying. You don't know why. They just are. And, you know, teenagers out there can be kind of cruel, and kids in general can be cruel. So a lot of times you'll see, especially in schools, kids picking on other kids for crying. I want this to go out to all the youth on this one. Knock it off. It is human nature, ladies and gentlemen, for somebody to cry. Maybe not all the time, but maybe instead of pointing and laughing, young ones, maybe stop and say hi. And maybe, just maybe, try to brighten up their day. Tell them one good thing about themselves after you start to get to know them. Every day, one good thing about them. Because what that's going to do is it's going to counteract the abuse. Especially if it's verbal or emotional. That will automatically counteract it. If you get to know that person and tell them every day one good thing about themselves. Or if it's a female and you're a male and you're wanting to get with that chick, tell her she's beautiful. If you're already with her, tell her she's beautiful every single day. This is no laughing matter, folks. This is beyond serious. People are losing their lives every day, whether by their own hands or the hands of the person who is abusing them, because of the fact that nobody took the time to stop and find out what was wrong, to stop and talk to them, and to brighten their day by telling them one good thing about themselves. I got the privilege to have that my freshman year of high school, and I guarantee you people, it made a huge difference. I came out of my shell in no time, and that was no easy feat for me. We all have our ways of expressing ourselves, but abuse is not expressing yourself. It is brutality. It is beyond cruel, and no one, and I mean no one, should have to put up with that. Ever. The other thing about verbal and physical abuse, some of the signs you can find, it's a lot of times a person will not look you in the eyes. Ever. Now, me personally, I can't look people in the eyes because of my disability. I do my best to look in that general direction and show them that I'm a stronger person for what I've been through. But most importantly, absolutely, by any means, make a friend. Look for these signs, because I guarantee you they're not going to look you in the eye. Finally, one of the biggest signs you can tell with somebody who's been verbally or emotionally abused is the fact that they will not talk to anyone. They will not get up in front of people. A lot of people will equate that to stage fright, but that's not always the case. Because again, it is really hard to talk to people about abuse. And a lot of times, if they even so much as look at a person, that could continue the abuse from the house. Or from the friends, or whatever. Because it doesn't just come from the household, ladies and gentlemen. It comes from all around us. Abuse is a real thing. And it really comes down, one of the biggest types of abuse, and we've already covered this in a prior video, is bullying. Bullying is a type of abuse. I don't know if you guys know that, but think about it. Bullies are doing this to belittle people, to bring them down, or to place their hands on them. Why? A good percentage of the time, I guarantee you, is because they are dealing with abuse in their own homes and they're trying to express themselves. Folks, do not let this get away from us. Stop it. Cut it in the flippin' butt and let us stand up and take care of this problem. Let's do something right.
Storage space running out. Low memory space.
Folks, that's it for me. This is Aaron Crawford signing out.
Good night, Aaron.
Good night.
Shutter button. Shutter button.